Hi there, students. To ossify, a verb meaning to become bone, to be converted into bone. Ossification, the process of becoming bone. So, if you break your arm, ossification will occur quite rapidly, and within 2 months it's almost completely mended. So it's cells going into which then change into bone. It's from the deposition of lime salts, but that's a very medical meaning. We use this verb to ossify, to become a conventional way of doing things, to become rigidly set in your ways. So when we're young, our minds are very open, and we think about a lot of things, and we decide how we are going to do things, how we're going to live our lives. But as we get older, our habits begin to ossify. They become conventional. They become part of what we are. They become how we do things. And it then becomes very difficult to actually change. There's this phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So to ossify, to become inflexible, to become rigid, to harden. But it's with the idea of habits or opinions. When people are old, it's very difficult to change their opinions because their old opinions are ossified. They become hard set in the conventional rigid pattern. So I think perhaps the central ideas of liberalism have ossified. Let's see, the idea of protecting workers' rights, I think, is something that's perhaps more old-fashioned. Now it's more a question of, do you have a job or don't you? So if ideas or habits become ossified, they become fixed, they're unable to change. The company had many years of success, and its way of thinking had become ossified, and it was unable to deal with the challenges of the new world, the challenges of technology. When a rule becomes hard and fast and completely unchangeable, that is ossified. And I think we live in a world where everything is changing, everything is moving forward, and you can't let anything ossify. You need to always be ready to think about new ways of doing things, about changes, because the world moves forward. I think perhaps in the UK the political system has become ossified. It's rigid, it's inflexible, it's stagnated, and it's not able to change. So this is the idea of ossification, is where ideas become so fixed that it's just not possible to change them. This makes me think about discovering that the Earth went around the sun. The idea that everything was centered on the Earth was so ossified that great scientists were excommunicated for saying the opposite. Okay, so to make something become a rigid, conventional pattern, this is something that cannot change. It's inflexible habits, inflexible opinions, and something it's part of our society, and we don't want to change it. So the ossification is talking about opposition to change. Minds ossify, and ideals that once were great things end up as stale platitudes. Ossified institutions, ossified ideologies, they have become fixed. They become very difficult to change. Okay, perhaps British society tended to ossify and close ranks as the 1930s drew to their close, to stiffen, to petrify, to become something that doesn't change. If our cities ossify, then there is no forward movement in our society. It's become like a fossil. It's very easy for the mind to ossify and not change, and we need to look forward. So, ossify. This comes from ossification, ossifier in French, from Latin, ossis, a bone. So, ossify, to become bone. So, ossify, ossification. Bye for now.